Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Vaibhav Jyotsna Srivastav with the evening news. The headlines. New section of Western Dedicated Freight Corridor will boost the logistic infrastructure and speed up development, says Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Second nationwide COVID-19 vaccine mock drill to roll out tomorrow, covering 736 districts across 33 states and union territories. India's fight against COVID-19 achieves a rare feat with over 1 crore recoveries. The US Congress certifies Joe Biden as the next president and Kamala Harris as vice president. And in cricket, Australia amass a formidable score of 166 for 2 in the rain-marred first day of third test at Sydney. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has dedicated to the nation the 306-kilometre-long New Rewari-New Madar section of the Western Dedicated Freight Corridor. He also flagged off through video conference the world's first double-stack long-haul 1.5-kilometre-long container train hauled by electric traction from New Ateli, New Kishangarh through video conference today. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Modi said the dedicated freight corridor is being looked at as a game-changer for India. After a lot of hard work in the last 5 to 6 years, it has come to fruition. He said that opening of this stretch will fuel the industries in Rewari, Mahendragarh, Ajmer and Sikar.
डेडिकेटेड फ्रेट कॉरिडोर के इस प्रोजेक्ट को 21वीं सदी में भारत के लिए गेम चेंजर के रूप में देखा जा रहा है। पिछले 5-6 वर्षों के कड़े परिश्रम के बाद आज इसका एक बड़ा हिस्सा हकीकत बन चुका है। कुछ दिन पहले जो न्यू भावपुर न्यू खुर्जा सेक्शन शुरू हुआ है, वहां मालगाड़ियों की स्पीड 90 किलोमीटर प्रति घंटा से ऊपर तक दर्ज की गई है। जिस रास्ते में मालगाड़ियों की औसत स्पीड सिर्फ 25 किलोमीटर की रही हो, वहां अब पहले से करीब 3 गुना ज्यादा तेज मालगाड़ी चलने लगी है। भारत को पहले के मुकाबले विकास की यही स्पीड चाहिए और देश की ऐसी ही प्रगति चाहिए।
The Prime Minister said the corridor covers 135 stations which will be developed as multi-modal logistic hubs. He said it will also help the village and small-scale industries. Mr. Modi said the corridor will contribute in the uplift of the economy.
मालगाड़ियों के लिए बनी इस प्रकार की विशेष सुविधाओं से एक तो भारत में यात्री ट्रेन की लेट लतीफी समस्या कम होगी। दूसरा ये कि इससे मालगाड़ी की स्पीड भी 3 गुना से ज्यादा हो जाएगी और मालगाड़ियां पहले से 2 गुना तक सामान की ढुलाई कर पाएगी। मालगाड़ियां जब समय पर पहुंचेगी तो हमारा लॉजिस्टिक नेटवर्क सस्ता होता जाएगा, जिसका हमारे निर्यात को लाभ होगा। यही नहीं, देश में उद्योग के लिए बेहतर माहौल बनेगा, ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस बढ़ेगी, निवेश के लिए भारत और आकर्षक बनेगा। देश में रोजगार के, स्वरोजगार के अनेक नए अवसर भी तैयार होंगे।
Mr. Modi also said a few days ago India approved 2 made-in-India vaccines for COVID-19, instilling Indians with renewed self-confidence. He added that all these efforts and steps show that the country is moving swiftly towards building a self-reliant India.
कुछ ही दिन पहले भारत ने कोरोना की 2 मेड इन इंडिया वैक्सीन भी स्वीकृत की है। भारत की अपनी वैक्सीन ने देशवासियों में नया आत्मविश्वास पैदा किया। 2021 की शुरुआत के माहौल में आरंभ से ही भारत की ये तेजी, आत्मनिर्भरता के लिए गति, ये सारी बातें देख करके, सुन करके कौन हिंदुस्तानी होगा जिसका माथा गर्व से ऊंचा न हो। आज हर भारतीय का आह्वान है, न हम रुकेंगे न हम थकेंगे, हम सब मिलकर और तेजी से आगे बढ़ेंगे।
The new Rewari-New Madar section of the Western Dedicated Freight Corridor is situated in Haryana and Rajasthan. It consists of 9 newly built Dedicated Freight Corridor stations, which include 3 junction stations in New Rewari, New Ateli and New Phulera. The double-stack long-haul container train operation, which has an enhanced axle load of 25 tons, will maximize capacity utilization.
The second nationwide mock drill on the COVID-19 vaccination will be held tomorrow at 3 session sites of 736 districts across 33 states and union territories. The objective of the mock drill is to simulate the actual vaccine administration event. The entire planning of the vaccination drive, including beneficiary registration, micro-planning and vaccination at the planned session site, will be tested under the leadership of district collector or district magistrate. The dry run will also familiarize the state, district, block and hospital level officers on all the aspects of COVID-19 rollout. While reviewing the preparedness before the dry run with health ministers and principal secretaries of the state and union territories, Union Health Minister Dr. Harsh Vardhan appreciated the tireless efforts being made by the multiple stakeholders, including the central and state government officials and the medical community. He also expressed gratitude to the scientific community who have worked tirelessly for the 2 vaccines which have recently received the emergency use authorization. The Health Minister highlighted the unique digital platform CoWIN, repurposed from the eWIN platform, that will provide real-time information of vaccine stocks, their storage temperature and individualized tracking of beneficiaries of the COVID-19 vaccine. He stated that more than 78 lakh beneficiaries have been already registered on the platform. He said, India has strongly fought against the COVID-19 pandemic during the 1 year and the country discovered indigenous vaccines. The minister said COVID cases have also significantly reduced.
2 वैक्सीन्स ऐसी है जिनके बारे में हम लोग जानते हैं, जिनके बारे में सारे देश ने जो घोषणा है उसको सुना है कि 2 हमारी वैक्सीन्स जो है उनको इमरजेंसी यूज ऑथराइजेशन मिल गया है और उन वैक्सीन्स को देश की, समाज के लोगों की कोविड से सुरक्षा के लिए उन वैक्सीन्स का इस्तेमाल करने की स्टेज के अंदर हम सब लोग आज आकर खड़े हो गए हैं और कुछ ही समय के बाद हम लोग यह सारी प्रक्रिया को शुरू करेंगे.
The minister reassured all his state counterparts that the country's cold chain infrastructure has been sufficiently upgraded to ensure last-mile delivery and that adequate supplies of syringes and other logistics have also been provided for. Dr. Harsh Vardhan requested the health ministers to be vigilant against rumors and disinformation campaigns regarding the safety and efficacy of the vaccine. He rubbished the rumors being propagated on social media, which are raising doubts in the mind of the public regarding the vaccine side effects. Dr. Harsh Vardhan will be visiting Tamil Nadu tomorrow to personally review the preparedness and oversee the dry run operations at the scheduled sites. He will visit the session site at Government General Hospital, Chennai, followed by the one at Government Omandurar Hospital, Chennai. In afternoon, Dr. Vardhan will visit the private vaccination center in Apollo Hospital, Chennai, after a brief visit to the General Medical Store Depot, GMSD, in Periyamedu. The health minister will also visit the vaccination center at Chingalapattu. He will also be visiting the Hindustan Biotech Limited campus at Chingalapattu after concluding his supervision at these sites. COVID vaccination dry run will also be conducted at 263 places in Karnataka tomorrow. Instead of 3 locations in each district, 7 locations are chosen for the dry run in Karnataka. In Kerala, the dry run will take place across all 14 districts in the state in 46 centres from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Maharashtra will join tomorrow's countrywide COVID vaccination dry run by checking the preparedness of its systems in over 30 districts and 25 municipal corporations. Details from our Mumbai correspondent.
Mr. Tope said that the dry run is important to assess how will the CoWIN app work in real time and what SOPs are required to be followed before the implementation of the actual vaccination process. Hoping that a successful dry run will boost the morale of health workers, Mr. Tope said the state has already finished the job of creating user IDs for all vaccinators at district level. He said districts have been asked to identify 25 beneficiaries for tomorrow's dry run and accordingly prepare the mapping sheet in CoWIN app. The healthcare center will then have to send SMSs to beneficiaries informing them about the vaccination schedule, conduct vaccination and observe for any possible side effects. Nisha Rani, AIR News, Mumbai.
India has crossed a significant milestone in its fight against COVID-19 with over 1 crore recoveries. The total number of patients successfully recovered so far from the viral contagion surpassed the tally of 1,16,000 today. The rate of new daily infection also continues to remain below 25,000, with only 20,346 cases being reported in the past 24 hours. The gap between the recovered patients and active cases in the country has further widened, and the number of recovered patients stands at 44 times the number of current active cases. The active caseload in the country comprises nearly 228,000 people and stands at 2.19%. Out of these, nearly 60% are under home isolation and have mild to very mild symptoms. The national cumulative recovery rate continues to register gradual improvement and stands at 96.36%, with recovery of over 19,587 people in the last 24 hours. Union Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan has written to Maharashtra, Kerala, Chhattisgarh and West Bengal, urging them to take steps to curb the spike in COVID-19 cases. These states are reporting an upsurge in the number of daily new cases in recent days. They comprise 59% of the total active cases in the country.
Recognizing the critical contribution of MSMEs in supporting the economy, especially during the present difficult times of COVID-19 pandemic, the Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs CBIC has taken a new initiative to introduce its flagship liberalized MSME AEO package. In order to attract MSMEs to become authorized economic operators, AEOs, and avail the various benefits, the CBIC has relaxed the compliance criteria, providing these MSMEs have a valid certificate from their line ministry. The relaxed requirements allow MSMEs who have filed minimum 10 customs clearance documents in 1 year and who have a clean compliance record over 2 years to apply for the scheme. The documentary requirements have also been simplified. The CBIC commits to take a decision on an application for grant of AEO status within only 15 days from electronic submission of complete documents for AEO Tier 1.
The Delhi government has ordered reopening of its medical colleges with immediate effect. The decision to this effect was taken following a decline in number of COVID-19 cases in the national capital and assessment of the current situation. The Delhi government in an order has said the medical colleges will be reopened by observing proper social distancing and standard operating procedures SOPs. In the first instance, the first year MBBS and BDS batch will be called in a staggered manner, and teaching and practical will be completed within 1.5 to 2 months from the date of reopening of the college. Subsequently, final year students will be allowed to join college. It said final year students will be eligible to appear in final year annual exams on successful training, on passing of which they will be eligible to join as interns. Thereafter, the process will be initiated for permitting second year MBBS and BDS students to rejoin college. The 16th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas Convention is being organized on the 9th of January in virtual format in the backdrop of the COVID pandemic. The theme of the convention this year is contributing to Atmanirbhar Bharat. The Prasar Bharatiya Divas Convention will be inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi and will feature a keynote address by the chief guest, Chandrika Prasad Santokhi, President of Suriname. The winners of the online Bharat Ko Janiye quiz for the youth will also be announced. The inaugural session will be followed by the 2 plenary sessions. The first plenary on role of diaspora in Atmanirbhar Bharat will feature addresses by External Affairs Minister and Commerce and Industry Minister. The second plenary on facing post-COVID challenges, scenario in health, economy, social and international relations will be addressed by Minister of Health and Minister of State for External Affairs.
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. News section of Western Dedicated Freight Corridor will boost the logistic infrastructure and speed up development, says Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Second nationwide COVID-19 vaccine mock drill to roll out tomorrow, covering 736 districts across 33 states and union territories. India's fight against COVID-19 achieves a rare feat with over 1 crore recoveries. The US Congress certifies Joe Biden as the next president and Kamala Harris as the next vice president. And in cricket, Australia amass a formidable score of 166 for 2 in the rain-marred first day of the third test at Sydney. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो खुद से वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back. Union Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank has appealed to students, parents and teachers to come forward with unique and creative ideas to make Toykathon 2021 a grand success. In a video message today, the minister said India's toy industry is worth 10,500 crore rupees and the country imports 80% of toys from outside. He said the Toykathon will provide a unique platform to conceptualize innovative toys based on the Indian value system, which will inculcate the positive behavior and good values among children. He said Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that India can be a biggest manufacturing hub for toys. The Education Minister has emphasized that the National Education Policy NEP 2020 is revolutionary in all aspects. He said it focuses on multiple aspects of promoting mother language at primary level education, imparting vocational skills training for students at the secondary level and other innovative reforms. The Education Minister said this while inaugurating the 2-day virtual International Akhand Conference EduCon 2020 through video conferencing. He further stated that NEP emphasizes on the interdisciplinary studies and integrated course curriculum in higher education for wider learning opportunities with an aim to provide value-based holistic education, development of scientific temper and imparting skill training to youngsters. He further added that this policy also considers the need to design framework for extended use of technology in the teaching-learning process and development of online course contents. Mr. Nishank gave the mantra of perform, reform and transform for successfully implementing all new imperatives of NEP 2020 essential for changing the society and transforming the life of youth for evolving global peace. Mr. Ramesh Pokhriyal has announced that eligibility criteria of scoring minimum 75% in class 12th has been relaxed for taking admission in IITs this year. He informed that JEE Advanced 2021 will be held as a computer-based test on the 3rd of July this year. This year, JEE Advanced will be conducted by IIT Kharagpur.
The News Services Division of All India Radio in its bilingual live phone-in program today will bring you a special discussion program on COVID-19. Dr. Geeta Kampani, senior physician at the Safdarjung Hospital, will participate in the discussion. Listeners can ask questions to the experts on toll-free telephone number 1-800-115767, that is 1-800-115767. You can also ask questions on the telephone number 011-2331-4444, that is 011-2331-4444. And post queries on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts by #AskAIR. This can be heard tonight on the FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.com and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official.
In the wake of recent unusual mortality of poultry, crows, migratory birds reported from Kerala, Haryana, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Himachal Pradesh, Secretary Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying held a meeting with the states. The meeting was convened to understand the status of the outbreak of avian influenza and to suggest measures to states and UTs for control, containment and prevention of spread of the disease. In Himachal Pradesh, 300 more foreign migratory birds have died due to bird flu. In Pong Dam area of Kangra district today, our correspondent reports that over 3,300 birds have died in the dam area so far. Chief Minister Jairam Thakur said the state government has deployed a 55-member team for the affected area of Kangra district, which is working to check and prevent avian influenza infection. Following the deaths of migratory birds, the Kangra district administration has already banned the sale and purchase of chicken, fish, meat and other poultry items in 4 subdivisions, Dehra, Jawali, Fatehpur and Indora. Apart from this, vigilance has been increased in Kangra as well as in Hamirpur and Una districts. Nearly 500 dead poultry birds were found dumped by the side of a national highway near Jawali at Parmanu in Solan district yesterday. Samples of dead chickens have been sent to Regional Diseases Diagnostic Laboratory in Jalandhar for testing. It may be recalled that the cause of mortality in migratory birds at Pong Dam Wildlife Sanctuary has been identified as H5N1 avian influenza virus by the National Institute of High Security Animal Diseases, Bhopal. A central team visited Alappuzha district in Kerala in the wake of the bird flu outbreak. The team collected various information regarding the spread of bird flu, nature of the virus and culling of birds in those areas where the disease has been reported. Various details regarding COVID spread in Alappuzha was also communicated to the central team by the district collector. They conducted a field visit to Karuvatta where a massive culling of birds took place.
The 51st International Film Festival of India has released the lineup of international movies for competition during the festival. The best of the feature-length fiction films from all over the world are selected to compete in the section. The movies that are part of the stellar lineup include The Domain by Thiago Guedes, Into the Darkness by Anders Wren and February by Kamen Kalev. The Best Film Award carries a cash prize of 40 lakh to be shared equally between the director and the producer. The director will receive the Golden Peacock and a certificate in addition to the cash component. The producer will receive a certificate in addition to the cash component. The Best Director Award carries Silver Peacock, certificate and a cash prize of 15 lakh rupees. The 51st IFFI will be held from the 16th to the 24th of January. The U.S. Congress has certified Joe Biden as the next president and Kamala Harris as the next vice president of the country. Vice President Mike Pence, who as president of the Senate oversaw the certification process, confirmed to the Congress that of the 538 electoral college votes cast, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris received 306 and Donald Trump and Mike Pence received 232, mirroring the results of November's election. The decision came hours after Trump supporters stormed the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. The incident left 4 people dead. A state of emergency has been declared for 15 days in the U.S. Capitol.
Joe Biden's victory was confirmed in the early hours of Thursday by a joint session presided over by Vice President Mike Pence. He termed the violence as a dark day in the history of the United States Capitol. The objections by some Republican lawmakers to overturn the result in Arizona and Pennsylvania was rejected as well. The exercise cleared the decks for Joe Biden to be sworn in on 20th January. In response, Trump pledged an orderly transition of power. However, it has been a transition of power marked by violence in which 4 people died after supporters of Trump stormed the U.S. Capitol on Wednesday to stop Congress from certifying President-elect Joe Biden's election victory. The clashes followed over 2-month-long war of words between Democrats and the Republicans on the election results. Joe Biden blasted what he called the insurrection as Mr. Trump, while telling the mob to go home, continued to make false claims of electoral fraud. The rampage came as 2 Democrats won Senate seats in elections in Georgia, which shifted the balance of power in favor of the Democrats and paving the way for Joe Biden to be sworn in as the next president of the United States on 20th January. This is Lalema Aneja Dank for Newsdesk, AIR News.
Meanwhile, Mr. Trump pledged an orderly transition of power. Twitter, Facebook and Instagram have temporarily suspended Trump's accounts on their platforms, accusing him of breaking their content regulations after violence broke out at the U.S. Capitol early this morning. While Twitter blocked Trump's account for 12 hours, Facebook and Instagram suspended the accounts for 24 hours. Twitter also removed 3 tweets made by President Trump.
In the third cricket test at Sydney, Australia were in a strong position as they amassed a formidable score of 166 for the loss of 2 wickets at the end of the rain-marred first day's play. Stephen Smith with 31 and Labuschagne with 67 were at the crease. Debutant Pucovski scored a useful half-century. He is the youngest Australian to achieve the feat. For India, Mohammad Siraj and debutant pacer Navdeep Saini took 1 wicket each. For India, Rohit Sharma is back, replacing Mayank Agarwal in the opening slot. Navdeep Saini makes his test debut, replacing Umesh Yadav, who was ruled out of the test series after getting injured in the Boxing Day test. The 4-match series is currently levelled at 1-1, and if India manages to win this test, the side will retain the Border Gavaskar trophy, even if Australia goes on to win the last test at Brisbane. Bangladesh has asked Pakistan to offer an official apology for the genocide committed against the people of the country during the Bangladesh Liberation War of 1971. The State Minister for Foreign Affairs of Bangladesh told the High Commissioner of Pakistan, Imran Ahmad Siddiqui, in Dhaka today that the apology, along with completing the repatriation of Pakistanis stranded in Bangladesh and settling the issue of the division of assets, was important for resolving the outstanding bilateral issues with Pakistan.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital will have generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. The city will observe minimum temperature of 10 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 21 degrees. Mumbai will experience generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. The temperature will hover between 26 and 28 degrees Celsius. Chennai will have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. The temperature will vary between 23 and 29 degrees Celsius. In Kolkata, partly cloudy skies will prevail. The city will observe minimum temperature of 18 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 31 degrees. Srinagar to have generally cloudy skies. Temperature will hover between -2 degrees Celsius and 7 degrees. In Jammu, there will be partly cloudy skies. The minimum temperature will be 9 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be 20 degrees. Leh will have mainly clear skies. The minimum temperature will be -12 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be -1 degree. Gilgit to experience generally cloudy skies. The minimum temperature will hover between -1 degree to 5 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will have partly cloudy skies, becoming generally cloudy towards afternoon or evening or night. The temperature will move between 1 to 18 degrees Celsius. Dehradun will observe minimum temperature of 12 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 22 degrees. The city will observe generally cloudy sky with the possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. Chandigarh will experience fog or mist in the morning and partly cloudy skies later. The temperature is likely to hover from 10 to 20 degrees Celsius.
Some more news. West Pakistan Refugees Action Committee from Jammu and Kashmir today met Minister of State for Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions, Dr. Jitendra Singh, in New Delhi and submitted a memorandum. The committee thanked Prime Minister Narendra Modi for granting them citizenship rights after a long wait of over 7 decades. The memorandum submitted to Dr. Singh by the President of West Pakistan Refugees Action Committee, Labha Ram Gandhi, stated that with the abrogation of Article 370 and 35A and conversion of Jammu and Kashmir from state to Union Territory of India, all the rights have automatically been bestowed upon the helpless West Pakistani refugees. It said a wave of happiness has run across all these refugees, for which the credit goes to the Modi-led NDA government at the centre. During a half-an-hour meeting with them, Dr. Jitendra Singh said it was not only violation of constitutional rights but also violation of human rights of these refugees who were denied citizenship rights for 70 years. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. New section of Western Dedicated Freight Corridor will boost the logistic infrastructure and speed up development, says Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Second nationwide COVID-19 vaccine mock drill to roll out tomorrow, covering 736 districts across 33 states and union territories. India's fight against COVID-19 achieves a rare feat with over 1 crore recoveries. The US Congress certifies Joe Biden as the next president and Kamala Harris as vice president. And in cricket, Australia amassed a formidable score of 166 for 2 in the rain-marred first day of third test at Sydney. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.